So at any given point when you're in the key of A, and you go up one fret to B flat, you're playing that minor second or flattened second sound, which is, I like to think of it as the Jaws sound. Alright, now you can use that, but most scales that you come across, what they use is the major second, which is the B note. So A to B going up 2 frets, also known as a tone. Alright, so those are your two types of second intervals. A flattened second and a major second. So whatever key you're in, just be aware that those are the two types of seconds that you might come across, and they're also known as ninths if you transfer them up an octave. So A to B an octave higher, or A to B flat an octave higher would be a flattened ninth, or a major ninth or flattened ninth, when you're talking about chord extensions in the octave higher. Alright, so those are your types of seconds. Your thirds are either a minor third or a major third. Now this section of the thirds, these are really important. A to C and A to C sharp. Why are these important? Because your third defines the chord quality, whether it's a major or minor chord. You guys probably know this A major chord, right? And the A minor chord. The only thing that's changing is that B string. So that's really important because that sound there is defining the chord quality. And in the blues we get a lot of manipulation of the third, you know. Sometimes they use both. Or bending the minor third up slightly to the major third, you get that sort of ambiguous in-between thing. Alright, so pay really close attention to the thirds and what chord you're playing over, because yeah, obviously that's really important to, classifying the sound as major or minor. Alright, so that's the third and fourth fret, C and C sharp. The fourth here is D on the fifth fret, and in between the fourth and the fifth, so D, D sharp, and E. So the fourth and the fifth are classified as perfect fourths and perfect fifths. They're not major or minor, they have just more of like an angular quality to them. Alright, but in between there we have what's called either a sharp 4, if you want to think of it ascending, or a flattened fifth, if you want to think of it as descending, and that's your tritone sound. So that's also known as the blues note. It gives you that really sort of dark, ominous kind of sound. Great for adding into your blues mix. Okay, so those are your fourths and fifths. The next section is the sixth. We have flattened sixth and major sixth, which are F and F sharp. Now, in a minor key, the sixth kind of determines the type of minor scale you're playing. If you use a flattened sixth, it's the natural minor. If you use a major sixth, it's the Dorian sound or the melodic minor sound. So yeah, pay attention to the sixth as far as what sort of minor scale you want to be using. That's the major one. And here's the minor one. You can see it adds quite a different sound quality to it. Alright, lastly we have the sevenths and the type of sevenths. A flattened seventh and a major seventh, which is the 10th fret and the 11th fret. So in your A chord, if you lift up your third finger there and let the open G ring out, that turns the A chord into what's called an A dominant 7 or A7 chord. And then if you add your index finger instead, you add that G sharp, Now it's an A major 7. So those are your like different types of A chord. A major 7, A dominant 7. Just by changing like that tonic note to the G sharp or to the G. Alright, so when I'm playing, this is kind of my thought process, is that, alright, I'm in the key of A, I've got all these intervals available, and what do I want to hear, or what is required, or what's the chord that's being played, and how can I manipulate the sound to fit the chord. So, quick example, like, if I'm playing over an A major chord, alright, I'm thinking of all my major intervals. Major second, major third, fourth, fifth, major sixth, major seventh. So I really just want to focus on those, right? If that chord changes to minor, I'm going to think of changing the third firstly from major to minor. I'm going to think of changing the sixth to minor if it's an Aeolian scale. And I'm going to think of changing the seventh to a minor as well. So I'm going to change 3 notes.